Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. It might end in a minute, or you might think I've been beamed up, because silly old me, I've come in this morning, and I know I record this in front of a green screen, of which they put stuff up. This is not real. In fact, I'm not real. I'm AI. And so, a quick Joe Biden impression there for you. So if I vanish, because long story. Okay, the weather is fantastic, isn't it? We're recording today on Friday in our wonderful studios in Whiteley, and we think there's a smell of gas, so we'll all have to go home. Do you think so? Yeah. Can you smell gas? Yeah, I can. Yeah, so as soon as we do this, and Harley will do a quick edit, we'll all bugger off. It's been beautiful weather, isn't it? I've been to sea on Lady Natasha for a couple of days, and it's been good. To get a couple of days off and just chill out is bloody marvellous. Good for us all. Bit of sun on our back. Of course, the sea has been as flat as a witch's tit, and so over they will come, I'm afraid. No matter how many meetings Keir has at Blenheim Palace with people, our fearless PM, on how many times that idiot David Lammy starts to gob off before he puts his foot in it about getting Europe all together, all round the table. Isn't that lovely? How many people are going to come across that channel today? Light winds, it's less than half a metre sea. They're going to be across that 22 miles like shit through a goose. I reckon there'll be 1,000 this nenext 3 or 4 days. 1,000. 15,000 migrants have come this year, just to put it in perspective. And it's what they bring. It's what they bring. Now, are you trying to tell me that immigration, migration, and some form of religious segregation has not caused these problems in Leeds last night? Right, let's have a look at this. This is a nice young Yorkshire lad setting fire to a bus, allegedly. Here's a picture that was in the Mail, and here's another one. Here's a picture of the crowd and the damage they did. And the giveaway is in the narrative, because they're too frightened to say it was Asian, Indian, Pakistani people that were doing all this shit. No, they just say it was crowds of people. Community leaders were asked to calm things down. What is a community leader? What is that? Have I got a community leader in the Hamble where I live? No? Perhaps if I lived in Uganda and all the white people lived in a little enclave like that, there would be a leader of the white people. Would. I'm not saying this is a black thing, but I mean, come on. Let's have a look. These are Asian and Pakistani people, non-white Yorkshire people. Everything's too much of a giveaway. Why is everyone so fucking frightened to say it? What did the police do? They turned up for a little while. Apparently, some care workers from the council and went to try and take some children away that are not being looked after properly. And of course, oh no, we don't want that, so we'll burn the place down. How about that? This is all these little things that come when people come here. When people, get their little enclaves like that. This is our little Muslim area. This is our little whatever area it is. And white people, quite frankly, we don't like you. We like your country and all the shit that goes with it, but we don't fucking like you. And whose fault is this? I'll tell you what they're saying in the papers, the community leaders. It's Nigel Farage's fault, of course, for stirring up the hatred, for separating people. Yeah? What did Nigel nip up there, have a fag and set fire to a fucking bus? Get real. And let's look at the Green councillor. The Green councillor, his name's Motin Ali. He's a community leader, and he won the council. He got to be a councillor, and he won it, in his words, for the people of Gaza. So what's he trying to turn it into, Gaza? In all fairness to him, he was seen throwing water over the place, and he said, stop all this, there's children in there. Another geezer said, stop all this, there's family. But let's just have a look. Here's a nice young Yorkshireman setting fire to a bus. What good did that do? I hope you're nicked. I hope that the pictures that everybody takes just doesn't make social media, but I hope all you bastards up there that want to wreck your place because of some misguided hatred of English white people or the law or the authority, I hope you all get nicked. Those 5 people that were on the motorway glued themselves and did this and that. I think Just Stop Oil Rebellion, 5 years each in prison. Is that good? 5 years in prison? How long will they do? Well, so they picked the right time, haven't they? If they'd have got 5 years in prison a year ago, they'd have done, 4 years. Now they're going to be out, fucking dog watch, aren't they? Let's just talk about prison and Labour's plans to deal with overcrowded prisons, right? You can't just release people. You couldn't fucking make it up. They reckon 5,500 prisoners will be released early in September and October. And they said it will, listen to this, it will lead to the increase in crime, right? So having served 40% of their sentence rather than the 50 that we used to have. So we have more, listen to this, we have more than 10,200 foreign prisoners in our jails. Why don't we just deport these fuckers? Do you know how much it costs? I worked out this when I was part of the criminal justice system for the veterans, it had to be said. It's probably, we worked it out at 38,000 quid a year to look after one prisoner. That's how much it costs inside. And of course, all the other bits that go with it. But you could get it a bit cheaper. You can do deals. That's why these Sercos and all these other fucking people and Rent-A-Kill are doing prisons. They say we can do it cheaper than the norm. But of course, what they turn into just warehouses full of people. I also don't believe, and I fall out with people over this, that you should get a prison sentence less than 6 months. If you get sent to prison for 3 months, you're going to just come out a better criminal, aren't you? Or 6 months. You're going to go in there a kid and you're going to come out as fucking Harry the Dip like this, aren't you? So we can't just deport these fuckers that are in there. It's quite a good idea, but I was listening to the wireless the other day and the boss of the Prison Governors Association, which I've spoken at a few times, they said, look, we've got thousands of British prisoners abroad, haven't we? Locked up in foreign jails. So if we deport all these bad guys back to there, they're going to deport our bad guys back to us. And so, you know, and I think it's going to be dearer to keep because, you know, Harry the Dip from Deptford eats 4 fucking great meals a day where some little fella from Bangladesh who's not used to food will sit there and eat a couple of little spoonfuls and be cheaper to keep, quite frankly. You know, that's a bit of a joke. But, you know, why don't we deport the odd person here and there? No, stick them in our prisons and we'll fucking pay. Don't worry about it. So, I didn't vote. I didn't agree with letting prisoners out. You know, 50% of their service is fair. I think it's all right if you say, look, if you behave yourself and you do these studies, and I've known prisoners, I've known murderers, veteran murderers that have got degrees at the Open University. They're still doing their stuff. Well, I've known prisoners that do this IPP. If you want to stop something, stop the IPP. The imprisonment for public protection. This was done by David Blunkett. And when we go over to Ustream in a minute, I've got a fantastic story I'm going to tell you about David Blunkett, a true story. Nice guy, but oh fuck, this is a story from heaven. I don't think I've ever told it where people can see it. I normally tell it on stage, otherwise I'll be sued and shut down. But there's a woman, right? There's a woman, forget her name here, a geezer, Wayne Bell, stealing a bike. He stole a bike. You know how long he's been in prison? 17 years, because he's doing an IPP. Now, the IPP, I think, was scrapped in 2012, but if you was convicted before that of an IPP, you still got to go through the motions. David Blunkett, as I said, put it together. It is fucking cruel. I remember sitting around with a load of veterans talking in one of the prisons up in the Midlands somewhere, and he was just gone, dead like that. He couldn't join in, he couldn't speak. Not drugs, not anything, he was just a broken fucking man. Because years ago, he threatened, he said to his girlfriend, I'll fucking kill you. And she complained rightly that he verbally threatened her like this. And the police came around and they gave him an IPP. 16 years he's been in there. What's that about? 16 years. Imagine being in there 5 years and you go out for parole. And some nice woman that should be in the WI knitting or growing marrows said, so what have you, why don't you just fuck off? That's it, you're gone, you're broken, you're dead. Let these people out. Let these people out. Let the veterans out. Why not use the charities? Why not use Care After Combat to manage these prisoners? Why don't the new elected veterans minister, whoever he is, I don't think Labour have even appointed a veterans minister. Shame on them. I told the Conservatives, I'll fucking do it. But let's let them out. Let's let the charities who look after them look after them. I don't think that if you do the crime, you do the time. Veterans are much better. You get arseholes and everything. But if you want to let people out, make sure that they're supervised properly. And supervising them is probably dearer than keeping them in fucking prison. We just need more prisons, or stop sending non-prisonable offenders to prison. I don't know what you're going to do. But I really think this early release thing, it just takes the fucking piss. You know, here's the other thing. The reoffending rate in the UK, 25%. So you look at this. You come out of prison, people come out of prison, 100 of them, 25 of them that will reoffend in year one. In year two, it goes up to 61% of the people you let out will reoffend. What about these fuckers who just let it out? They haven't learned anything, they haven't done anything, they're rubbing their hands together, and they'll probably vote Labour for the rest of their lives as they're going in nicking fucking swag. What about these geezers the other day, these foreign buggers? Nicked the guy's Rolex, put the hand over his mouth, nicked the 25-gram Rolex. Please don't nick my watch, please don't nick my watch. What they're doing? Community service. What the fuck? What is their community service? Oh, we thought we'd send you up to Leeds to join in with the riot. What about that? They're two asylum seekers. They robbed a £25,000 Rolex from a man screaming, frightened to fucking death, and they walked free from court. Lovely chaps, Yusuf Garif and Algiran Amin Agadakdar, Egyptians. Give them community orders. So what's happening to Chris Smith at 2 a.m? Hey, poor little fucker, jumped upon by these two Egyptians who nick his watch. And where did the police find it? In their fucking pocket. How fucking good is that? This is what we're letting into this country. And whose fault is it? Oh, it's Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage is to blame for those guys stealing that guy's watch. It's fucking unbelievable. When are people gonna wake up and sniff the coffee? You let people in the country without any... Oh my God, they can be whatever they want. How many murderers, how many people on the run? We've got a fucking army here waiting for someone to press a button and up they're gonna come. I've been invited up to London on the 27th of July. There's a big protest going on. I can't go because I'm working. Thank heavens that I am working. But I'm not a one for standing in a crowd and doing all this. You know, a lot of people are, I'm not. And I get a bit of stick for not going. But, you know, how much is it? How long do we have to fucking put up with this? So as well as this new government fucking up the justice system, Labour has also announced it will fast-track asylum claims for the 90,000 illegal immigrants who had been earmarked for Rwanda. 90,000 people we were going to send to Rwanda are now not going. Because the flick of a switch, that Labour front bench. Let's look at the Foreign Secretary, David Lammy. Let's have a look at his picture again so we can all have a fucking good laugh. How are they going to deal with the issue? No. No stopping the boats, no smashing up the gangs. Let them all stay. There's no backlog then. We're fine. Everyone can stay. Do these people, does this government give a fuck about the way UK citizens feel? When I say UK citizens, I'm not talking me. I'm talking about my black mates. Georgie Campbell. George, hope you're still alive, mate. What about the English black people here? How do they feel? How do they fucking feel? It's ridiculous. And what about the arseholes hanging up signs saying refugees welcome? Well, most of them are refugees anyway, aren't they? Or they're them silly people, liberals and Green Party. This fucking country's gone to rat shit, I swear to God. You know, Bibi Stockholm, the migrants, that's that barge down in Weymouth. They had a 2-hour protest the other day because of the way they're treated. The way they had a protest, 2 hours. Hang on a fucking minute. They get 3 hot meals a day. They have 24/7 access to food, doctor, dentist, services, free hourly bus services into Weymouth where they can go around and ogle the women. And there are thousands of homeless people who would fucking love that. There's homeless veterans on the street. What is wrong with this fucking country? Why don't we just put a big sign on Dover? You know, like that Hollywood sign? Why don't we put one on Dover saying, right, Labour are in now, everyone's fucking welcome because we're all a bunch of fucking arseholes that live here and we'll do nothing about you ruining our fucking country. Look, if you want to come to our country, do it properly. Get a visa, get a job, get sponsored, pay tax, do stuff. Don't come here and set fire to fucking buses because you don't like the police. I'm sick of it. Right, I'm going over to Ustream before I'm banned. Come and join us. Come on, come and join us. Come to ustream.com. If you want to hear some fireworks, I'm in a right fucking mood for it today. I might even talk about the migrants who had to wait 30 minutes for food one day. Oh, for fuck's sake, my heart bleeds. We are an international laughingstock and it's getting out of control. Come and join me. Come and join me on Ustream and we'll talk about Londonistan and that awful little fucking mayor. Come to ustream.uk. Do it now. 7 days free. Hello everybody, Davidson here, and I'm here to tell you of an exciting, wonderful thing. You can have a 7-day free trial to get all of the Ustream package, if you pardon the expression. Yes, you can grab my package for 7 days for no money, and then $3.99 plus VAT per month thereon afterwards. So go to ustream.com, sign up and get your free 7-day trial. You will love it. Your knickers will dry out later.